What's going on, guys? Welcome to another UFC 298 video. Today we're taking a look at an interesting welterweight matchup between Oban Elliott, who is a sizable favorite, taking on Val Woodburn, getting a second opportunity off accepting the Bo Nickals fight on extremely short notice and taking that beating. This is an interesting fight. The odds say one guy should be super favored over the other. We're going to take a breakdown of their skills in recent fights to try and leave us with the best bet for the contest. Join me in breaking down their styles. Like the video, subscribe, and let's get straight into the breakdown.
Oh, Till's out! It's over! It's over! It's what I'm saying, boy! Oh! He got dropped! It's over! It's over! Munoz! Oh my!
Oban Elliott comes in off of the Contender series. He defeated a 16-4 Brazilian with 14 finishes on his record in what was a pretty close fight. Oban Elliott is serviceable on the feet. He's got good skills in his boxing, great body kicks, and he can go to the head kick and leg kicks when he wants to, but more or less a wrestler coming into this contest. He's going to want to take his opponents down. He's willing to get into it on the feet, but he will look to find a takedown. In the Contender series fight, however, when he found a takedown, he was very antsy trying to find a second position, which caused his opponent to be able to get back to his feet. But in this fight, I expect him to be a little bit more calm. Once he secures a takedown to hold it, I think that Oban Elliott will be the aggressor if it does get to the wrestling. But Val Woodburn has shown in his regional career, he is good up against the fence. He's strong. He's able to hold opponents there, and he's landed some takedowns in his fight. So I do think Oban Elliott is going to have more struggle in this fight to get the takedown, but I do still think he's going to go after it. And in this case, you also have the side factor that Oban Elliott is extremely fast. Coming up from lightweight, you see in his combinations the speed, so we'll have a speed advantage on the feet as well as the wrestling advantage, in my opinion. The Welsh gangster has a very inspiring story, as we saw in the Contender series, but again, we saw some worrisome tendencies as well. Oban Elliott definitely hittable. His Brazilian opponent proved that in their second round. He was able to find the chin of Oban Elliott, press him back, but Oban Elliott was able to show that he is extremely tough, and unless you put his lights out, he's going to stay in your face. He's going to shoot for takedowns. And from that fight, his gas tank does look like it is very respectable. Like he can go all 3 rounds very easily, which is also an important factor when looking at fighters. On the other side of the cage, Val Woodburn is a strong fighter. He's going to be making a significant move in weight classes. In recent years, most of the time he's fighting at middleweight. He's also seen light heavyweight action in recent years. Now he's coming all the way down to welterweight. When you watch his fight, he lives and dies by his right hand. He counters kicks, low kicks with his right hand. He counters combinations with his right hand. You rarely see him throw a left-hand jab out there in his fights. So you're really betting on the power, and will he be able to find the chin of Oban Elliott? Oban Elliott's been tagged. He's been hit. His 2 losses are via TKO knockout. So if you're going to take a shot on this one, you're throwing one at a dartboard and you're hoping that that right hand of Val Woodburn lands on the chin. He's also a very strong fighter. So I would assume that if Oban's going to shoot for legs, he's going to have a difficult time taking him down. It's going to be a tough guy to move around. But if he does get Val Woodburn on his back, I think it's going to be a pretty easy time keeping him there. It's tough for me to say that Val Woodburn is a very big value play here. I think that in most cases, Oban Elliott's going to win this fight at minus 220. Unless he was like minus 3, minus 4, and you could get Val Woodburn in at plus 3, plus 4. Maybe take a ticket on Val Woodburn by KO if he can land that right hand. I think his best route is probably to tire the very strong, stocky, bulky, tire him out and finish him later on in the fight. But Oban Elliott does. Maybe Oban Elliott's second round, third round finish might be also a potential play. But I would give the edge here. Oban Elliott's my lean to win the fight. And I think he does it probably by a late TKO. But from a betting perspective, I would probably only bet the underdog in this spot because, again, I don't see enough value to risk on minus 300. Val Woodburn, all of his fights come in Combat Night Pro. And again, all of those fights come as low as middleweight. He's fought at light heavyweight. He's never fought at welterweight. So again, you have to think about how the weight cut's going to impact him. If I'm thinking about taking Val Woodburn, now I can note 2 plays that I've made where I've seen a guy that is less skilled in the stand-up but has a power advantage or a one-punch knockout power that they've shown in their regional days, and then I take a ticket on them. It would be when Braxton Smith fought Parker Porter. That was one of the most embarrassing bets I've ever laid, even though Braxton did land a shot in the first 10 seconds. That was the only thing he ever landed. He was taken down and dominated. And then just this past weekend, I took Darius Flowers over Michael Johnson. Again, watching Michael Johnson's background, he was such a better striker. He was way more technical. His hands were faster, but I took a ticket on Darius Flowers depended on the power and that Michael Johnson was knocked out, and I end up paying for it. I lose sleep over these stupid tickets, and now I'm trying to debate with myself taking another massive underdog in a spot as Val Woodburn against the guy that I know, in my opinion, is a better stand-up fighter in Oban Elliott. I'm not going to make the play here. If I would have taken the striker Val Woodburn. I'm going to hold myself away from this one. I'm going to pat myself on the back after the event because I know that Val Woodburn's going to lose, and we go from there. So that's my breakdown for the video. If you guys enjoyed, remember, smash that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. More UFC 298 content to come.